All right, guys. Welcome back to Reason Studio Talk with Lenny Eyes from Thousand Eyes. Since we're on the topic of the echo, right? I had the last video talking about how we can manipulate the dry and wet. So I have this riff here. I want to show it to you. And we have the echo on bypass so you can hear the riff by itself, right? So here we go. All right, so that's the riff. Nothing, no processing, nothing is in there. Nothing is making it all juicy and nice and spicy. So what I want to do today is just focus on this little button right here, the time. Now the time, what it does is it puts your delay, quarter notes, dotted eighths, eighth notes, 16th notes. But we're going to focus on this. We need to have the dry and wet 50% so you can hear a good balance of it dry and a good balance of it wet. I ducked it a little bit, not too much. Now the feedback, I have it at a third, a little bit more than a third, but now the keep in pitch, leave it off and have it synced, because that way when you're rotating the knob back and forth, you can have it in sync with the song no matter what you do. So there's really no mistake. You could have it ping-ponging left and right if you like, but that's up to you. That's your taste. For now, I'm not going to have it ping-ponging left and right because I don't know if that's what I want yet. For the sake of this video, we're just going to mess with the time knob. Now, for this to be done, you have to have an external Midi controller. Most of you guys have it. I mean, if not, 100% of you guys have it. If you don't, they're pretty cheap. You can get it for like $100. But for me, I have the Akai Professional. It's the MPD 218. It's very small, nothing insane. This is it right here. It has 6 knobs and the 16 pads. This is more than enough for me. For this to be done, you have to right click on the edit remote, right? And then just twist one of these knobs, pick one that you like, whichever one is your favorite. It already sees that you're touching it, and just press OK. So now I'm controlling it from outside here, and it's following what I'm doing. We're going to press play and you're going to hear what I'm trying to achieve, right? Okay, now that makes this plain Jane piano sound 20 times more interesting than how it sounded before. The question now becomes is how do I record that automation? Now you can record the automation by just pressing record and just flipping the knob. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have a perfect performance and get it as near as perfect as you need it to be. I don't have time to continuously play this over and over and get it right and practice it until I get it perfect. I'm just going to select that and just duplicate it. And what I like to do is duplicate it a few times over. You got this little button here that says record source, right? So you can click it off, you click it on to enable it. What we're going to need now is to have an audio track that it's accepting that signal, recording it into that track. We got to press enable and put it on stereo and then select that I want that piano output. It's called keys 2. All you got to do is select it. And now it's accepting the input from its out into that track that's being recorded. Similar to Pro Tools, if you're in Pro Tools, Ableton, if you're in any of this stuff, all that stuff is exactly the same. It's just, it's a bit different depending on what DAW you're on. You might have to send an aux to another track. It's the same exact thing. And now, if you guys have a better way of doing it, please go on the comment and say, hey, I do this, I do that. Let's have a forum. Let's talk about it. So now that I have that, I have my MIDI that's been duplicated, so I don't have to play it all over again. All I have to do is press play and just fiddle with the button. So you're going to see it here.
$2,000 later.
So basically I did a few takes. I took the best part from every take and I spliced them up so that now we have the best of the best takes. Take a listen to it. This is what we have now. Before I continue, so that you can see or hear, so what you're hearing now is the take with the effect plus just a dry piano. So let's just hear just a dry piano. Okay, now hear it with the full effect on. So you have the tracks right here. Let me move this. So this is the original dry. Just right there. And then this is the piano effect. What I like to do is let's route this to a new bus. Let's color code them. I don't care, any color. Bus. Now I have some, I don't know what reverb I have on, but let's try another one. Well, okay, so that was the lesson for today. And these lessons aren't anything huge or big or like whoopity-doo, right? They're just simple little things to make your sound interesting. And this is what this channel is about. And this was easy. This was something so small that you could have done to any soundbite that would have made it just a little bit interesting, right? So just turning that little knob and messing with the time and messing with the pitch would have just given you something completely different than what you had. And that alone would have been just enough to make the listener's ears perk up. Say, hey, that sounds cool. That sounds interesting. That sounds different, you know? So once again, please like and subscribe so I can continue giving you these little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. And again, you can listen to this stuff. All this stuff is on our EPs. I do exactly what I just showed you right now to the tracks that I produce and I mix and I master. You can hear us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your music. It's in there. We have 2 EPs, Half Asleep, Half Awake. You can go and check us out. On thousandeyes.com, we're in the process of releasing a 3rd EP. Again, every little tip and trick that I do, you're going to hear it in our EP. So thanks again. Like and subscribe. Let's make music. Let's be creative. Let's think outside the box. Later, guys.